What do you suppose this is? I'm in a bathroom, and that's right next to the sink. Here's the sink here. And I've got this thing here. Now that's for a towel ring. This towel ring is supposed to fit up in here. And it had been installed before, and somehow it came apart. And I've got to figure out how to put it back together. Okay, I know that this end here fits in there, and then this sets in there somehow. You see, here's the end, and here's the other end, and it's got a screw thing in there, and somehow that's got to screw into that. Now, how am I supposed to do that? Because I can't really hold it up there like that and here and tighten it up. Somehow something's going on here. Okay, and at first glance I thought this would just push in and then I could screw it with this end here. Screw it, screw it, screw it, and tighten it up. But upon closer inspection, see this here? Got little nibs on it. See the two nibs? Right there and right down there. Okay, that means I can't screw it in and turn this, because when it fits in here, there's two little nibs there. So this has to go in a certain direction so it fits tight like that, okay? Then I've got to put this side in, and this side's got two little nibs too. You see? Let's see, where are they? There's one right there, see? And then there's one on the other side. Right in there. Okay, so I know this has to fit exactly into this. And it's going to fit right like that. Okay? So, what does that tell me? That tells me that this should be able to be unscrewed. And at first glance, I didn't think it could unscrew because it was pretty tight. And the last thing I wanted to do was start wedging on that and prying on that, and then find out this piece here was attached to this round ring. Okay, so I grabbed it and turned it, and son of a gun, it does unscrew. Okay, see the threads on there? Simple enough, so far so good, right? And then see, this here is loose, and on the back side, if I just pull that out, it's got an Allen wrench type nut or bolt. It's got threads on it. There's Allen wrench there, okay? So I know that's got to be tightened up. So put that in like that. I got to put it all together here. Like that. I've got to hold that up in there like that. And then I've got to have an Allen wrench that size. So I've already checked it. And I've got the Allen wrench. Now I can use the Allen wrench just like a screwdriver and tighten that up. Okay, like that. Do you think this job is done? Now I can get that tight like that. Okay, now that won't go anywhere. Now it's simple enough. Right? At first thought, all I got to do is screw this in, right? I can't screw it in, can I? If I do that, it's going to hit the wall. Right? So what to do here? How am I going to get this off the wall? Well, usually what you're going to find is if they install this properly, there's going to be a set screw on the bottom. And I looked on the bottom, and sure enough, there's a set screw. Now, sometimes that set screw is a really tiny screwdriver, standard screwdriver. You can get up in there and unscrew it. But in this case, it's a little set screw with an Allen wrench head. So I've got to use a little Allen wrench like this. I had the right size, and it's always good for you how-to people out there. And I'm talking to you in particular. You want to get a little Allen wrench set like this, and the one I have is actually has two sides. It's got all these sizes here, and then also some thinner ones, and then some thicker ones, because you might need them. You never know when you're going to need an Allen wrench, okay? So what I've got to do is I've got to fish up in there, and be careful. You've got to unscrew a little bit at a time. And the last thing I want to do is rub the Allen wrench thinking I can do it and go all the way around and zip it around and start marking up the wall. Okay? This is something I'm doing for a friend. They weren't sure how to do this. They were going to contact somebody, and I said, nothing doing. I can do that for you. Okay? So you're just going to have to be a little patient with it, and just a little turn at a time. I think I have it enough. I'm going to lift up on it and see it's loose. I don't have it unscrewed far enough just yet. The set screw is pretty long. It's kind of tedious getting it out. A little bit at a time. Okay. Now I can kind of lift up on it, and voila. A little set screw in there. I don't know if you can see that. See right in there? You tighten that up, a little nib comes up, and it tightens over this bracket. This bracket goes up at an angle, and it goes down at an angle at the top, up at an angle at the bottom. So when you put this in, there's some little nibs up at the top here. See those little grooves up in there? You've got to put that on the top first, and then, you know, put it on the top, wedge it down, and then you're going to tighten it up. You don't want to have it too tight and then try to get it on and it's not fitting. You got to make sure that top is in there tight. Okay? So now that I have it off, now I can take this and I can screw that in, right? Okay, so just gonna hold my mouth just right and tighten that up a little bit. Now, do I have to get it so tight that it's not gonna swivel at all? You know, I've got to look at it first. That's about how I want it, but it's upside down because it's got to go like that. So I can't tighten it anymore, so I can loosen it just a little bit, like that. Now I can put it back on. Okay, and I can tighten that up. All right, so now, if you want, now see how the ring is facing that way, and the curve is here. If you want this open area off over here, you can do that. You just unscrew this again, now that you know how to do it, and you can put it in the very opposite, so that this is over here, this nut is over there. Okay, but I'm going to leave it like that because this is on the outside. When people put their little towel in there, they can reach around, you know, like that, kaboom, like that, instead of over here. I mean, does it really matter? It doesn't really matter. Whichever way you want to do that. Okay? Now, I've got to make sure I don't forget now. Hold this up in there. And I want to make sure it's pushed down tight before I start tightening it up. Okay? I was going to do this in little segments, but you get the idea now. Now I'm going to tighten that up a little bit more, but you don't have to watch that. I'll tighten it up and show you the final end product. Basically, it's going to look just like this. When you have that tight, the most important thing to remember is try not to tighten it so tight that you're going to bend your little Allen wrench or strip the tip off or whatever. Get it as snug as you can. Okay, line it up. That's good. Alrighty. Mark that off my list. Ready for the next customer.